What if I told you there are 7 ancient laws that secretly control everything in your life? Your success, your happiness, even your reality itself. These Hermetic laws have been studied by the world's greatest minds, yet most people have never heard of them. But once you understand and apply them, you'll gain the power to shape your world exactly how you want. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see reality in a way you never imagined. And missing this might mean staying stuck in patterns you don't even realize are controlling you. There is an ancient saying, "When the student is ready, the master appears." But what if I told you the master has always been here, hidden in the depths of time, waiting for those who seek to understand the unseen forces that shape our world? For thousands of years, sages, mystics, and scholars have whispered about a lost wisdom, a sacred blueprint of the universe, a knowledge so powerful it was said to grant those who mastered it control over their own reality. This wisdom is called Hermeticism, and it all begins with a mysterious figure, a man who was more than a man, a legend who existed in the space between gods and mortals. He was known as Hermes Trismegistus, a name meaning thrice great Hermes, the master of wisdom, the keeper of divine knowledge. Some say he was the fusion of 2 great beings, Thoth, the Egyptian god of writing, magic, and the moon, and Hermes, the swift messenger of the Greek gods. Others believe he was an immortal philosopher, walking the earth long before history began, spreading truths about the universe that few would ever understand. According to legend, Hermes Trismegistus inscribed his sacred knowledge onto a set of mystical emerald green tablets, texts so profound that those who read them would uncover the hidden laws of reality itself. One phrase, etched into these legendary tablets, would become the foundation of all Hermetic thought. As above, so below. As within, so without. This single statement holds the key to unlocking the mysteries of existence. It tells us that the universe is not a chaotic accident, but a reflection of patterns and principles. Principles that govern everything, from the movement of the stars to the thoughts in your mind. For centuries, Hermetic knowledge was carefully guarded, passed only from master to disciple, hidden from those who might misuse its power. The rulers of Egypt, the alchemists of the Middle Ages, the Renaissance thinkers who sought to unravel the secrets of the cosmos, all were guided by the wisdom of Hermes Trismegistus. Even today, his influence echoes through science, philosophy, and spirituality. But here's the part they don't teach you in history books. These laws aren't just theories. They are the very fabric of reality. If you've ever felt like life was pushing you in directions beyond your control, if you've ever sensed a deeper meaning behind coincidence, if you've ever questioned whether reality is as solid as it seems, then you've already touched the edges of Hermetic wisdom. The 7 Hermetic principles are not just ideas. They are the hidden mechanics of existence. They reveal how your thoughts shape your world, how energy flows through all things, how nothing is truly still, and everything is constantly in motion. And once you understand them, once you master them, you stop being a passenger in your own life. You become the architect of your reality. The emerald tablets may be lost to time, but their teachings live on in a single book, the Kybalion. Written in 1908 by 3 mysterious authors who simply called themselves the 3 Initiates, the Kybalion compiles the ancient Hermetic teachings into 7 laws, 7 truths that explain everything from the forces that govern the cosmos to the very nature of the human mind. And today, you are about to discover these truths for yourself, one by one. in detail. And by the end of this journey, you will hold the master key to reality in your hands. And so, we begin with the first and most powerful Hermetic Law, the Principle of Mentalism. What if I told you that everything you've ever known, everything you see, hear, touch, even your own existence, is nothing more than a thought? That the universe itself is a mind? This is the first Hermetic principle, the Principle of Mentalism. It states, the all is mind, the universe is mental. A simple phrase, yet it holds the secret to reality itself. Think about your dreams. When you sleep, your mind creates entire worlds, vivid, detailed, limitless. Inside your dreams, you can experience joy, pain, even fear. The people you meet feel real. The places you go seem solid, but the moment you wake up, it all vanishes. Now, what if I told you that this waking life, this reality, is no different? That just as your mind creates dreams, a greater mind is creating this world right now. This is the universal mind. Some call it God, others call it the source. Science calls it consciousness. But whatever name we give it, the truth remains the same. Everything around you, everything you have ever known, is a projection of mind. Not just your mind, but the mind of the all. For centuries, this idea was dismissed as mystical nonsense. But then, science began catching up. In the early 20th century, quantum physics made a shocking discovery. Physicists ran an experiment, now famous in history, the double-slit experiment. They found that particles behave like waves when no one is watching. But the moment they are observed, they change. They behave like solid matter. This means that observation itself changes reality. The act of looking, the very presence of consciousness, decides whether something exists as a wave of potential or a solid object. Do you see? This aligns perfectly with what Hermeticism has taught for thousands of years. That reality is not something separate from you, but something shaped by you. You are not simply moving through the universe. You are co-creating it. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. If reality is mental, and if your consciousness is part of the universal mind, then your thoughts, your beliefs, your focus are the most powerful forces in your life. Every thought you think sends ripples through reality. Your worries, your fears, your dreams, they are not just ideas in your head. They are energetic frequencies shaping the world around you. Look at your life. Everything you have, everything you lack. It is not an accident. It is the direct result of your thoughts, your focus, your attention. This is why the modern world keeps you distracted. Social media, endless notifications, the constant flood of meaningless information. Why? Because if you cannot control your focus, then you cannot control your reality. They don't want you to know that your mind is your greatest power. That whatever you think about intensely, repeatedly, emotionally, you begin to manifest. But here's the secret. You can reclaim your power. You can train your mind to focus like a laser, to direct your energy with intention, to create the reality you desire. This is why meditation is so powerful. Because when you quiet the noise of the world, you reconnect with the universal mind. You step into the space of creation. This is what the Principle of Mentalism teaches us. That reality is not happening to you. It is happening through you. And once you understand this, once you take control of your thoughts, your focus, your emotions, you become the architect of your world. In the next chapter, we dive even deeper. Because if the mind is the creator, then what connects the microcosm to the macrocosm? What is the bridge between your inner world and the vast universe. As above, so below. There is a hidden pattern woven into the very fabric of existence, a cosmic mirror reflecting the grandest galaxies and the tiniest atoms, a law that binds together the seen and the unseen, the spiritual and the material, the microcosm and the macrocosm. This is the second Hermetic principle, the principle of correspondence. It states, as above, so below, as within, so without. A phrase so simple, yet it holds the key to understanding the universe itself. Have you ever noticed how patterns repeat? The swirling storms of Jupiter mirror the spiraling currents of an ocean. The branching veins in a leaf resemble the rivers that carve the earth, and the neural pathways of the human brain. They look almost identical to the structure of galaxies stretched across the cosmos. This is not a coincidence. It is a reflection of the universal truth. The small reflects the large. The inner world shapes the outer world. And if this is true, then your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, they do not exist in isolation. They are echoed into the reality around you. Look around you. Your relationships, your health, your success, everything in your life is a reflection of your inner world. What you hold in your mind and heart, your fears, your dreams, your self-image. These are the blueprints that shape your reality. If you are filled with self-doubt, fear, and limitation, you will see a world that confirms those beliefs. Obstacles will appear. Opportunities will seem just out of reach. People will reflect back to you the very energy you carry inside. But if you cultivate confidence, love, and abundance, the world around you begins to shift. Doors open, synchronicities appear. The universe reflects your internal state, just as it always has. For thousands of years, mystics have taught this truth. But now, even science is beginning to understand. Fractal geometry shows us that patterns repeat infinitely, from the microscopic to the infinite. DNA, the blueprint of life, follows the same spirals found in galaxies. The holographic universe theory suggests that the entire cosmos may be a reflection of itself, repeating on all scales. Hermes Trismegistus knew this thousands of years ago, and now, so do you. So what does this mean for you? It means that the world is not happening to you. It is happening through you. If you want to change your life, you must first change yourself. Transform your thoughts, and the world around you must follow. Align your mind and emotions with what you desire, and the universe will reflect it back to you. This is the principle of correspondence, a master key to the universe, hidden in plain sight. As above, so below. As within, so without. Imagine for a moment that nothing in the universe is truly still. Not the stars, not the earth beneath your feet, not even you. At the atomic level, inside every cell of your body, there is movement, a pulse, a frequency, a vibration. This is not just poetic philosophy. This is science. And it is also the third Hermetic principle, the principle of vibration. It states, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Everything, from the densest rock to the highest thought, exists on a spectrum of vibration. The only difference between one thing and another is the rate at which it vibrates. Think about heat and cold. They are not opposites, but simply different degrees of the same thing. The difference between ice and steam is simply vibration. Ice vibrates slowly, solid, rigid, heavy. Water vibrates faster, flowing, moving, adapting. Steam vibrates even faster, rising, expanding, becoming something intangible. And here is where it gets truly fascinating. Your emotions, your thoughts, even your very consciousness are vibrations too. Ever walked into a room and felt the energy? You didn't hear anything. You didn't see anything, but you felt it. Maybe it was heavy, tense, like something was off, or maybe it was warm, light, and inviting. That's because emotion has frequency. Science has already proven this. The HeartMath Institute has shown that the human heart emits an electromagnetic field that changes based on emotions. Fear, anger, and grief have low vibrations, dense, heavy, constricting. Love, joy, and gratitude have high vibrations, expansive, light, freeing. So what does this mean? It means that you are vibrating right now. And whether you realize it or not, your vibration is shaping your reality. You may have heard of the law of attraction, but most people don't understand why it works. It works because of this law, the principle of vibration. What you vibrate, you attract. If you dwell in fear, lack, and negativity, you will find yourself surrounded by low-frequency experiences. If you elevate your vibration to gratitude, abundance, and joy, you will attract experiences that match that frequency. This is why two people can walk into the same situation, and one sees opportunity, while the other sees disaster. Their vibration determines their perception of reality. So, how do you change your vibration? It starts with awareness. 1. Watch your thoughts. Your mind is a tuning fork. Choose thoughts that elevate, not thoughts that bring you down. 2. Master your emotions. Feel everything, but do not cling to low vibrations. Let them pass through you. 3. Surround yourself with high-frequency energy. Nature, music, article, love, gratitude. These all raise your vibration. You are not a victim of frequency. You are the transmitter. You choose what you tune into, and in doing so, you choose the reality you experience. The universe is alive with movement. It pulses, it breathes, it vibrates, and you are part of that great symphony. So the question is, what frequency are you choosing to play? This is the principle of vibration. The power to change your life begins with changing your energy. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. Light and dark, hot and cold, love and hate, success and failure. We live in a world of opposites. But what if I told you these opposites are not separate at all? This is the fourth Hermetic principle, the principle of polarity. It states, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. But here's the secret. Opposites are not enemies. They are two extremes of the same thing. There is no absolute cold, only varying degrees of heat. There is no absolute darkness, only the absence of light. There is no failure, only the lessons that lead to success. This means that whatever you are experiencing right now, no matter how difficult, contains the seed of its opposite. If you are lost, then clarity is simply on the other end of the spectrum. If you are struggling, then success is already within your reach. If you are drowning in fear, then courage is simply a shift in perception away. When you understand this law, you gain a powerful gift, the ability to shift your reality by shifting your perspective. Everything in life is like a pendulum. The further you swing into pain, the greater your potential for joy. The deeper your challenges, the greater your ability to overcome them. You cannot have one without the other. So, what does this mean for you? It means that you are never stuck. You have the ability to shift your state, to move from one pole to another. Sadness can be transformed into joy. Fear can be transformed into love. Weakness can be transformed into strength. You are not bound to any one emotion, circumstance, or struggle. You are simply standing at one point on the spectrum. Shift your focus, and everything changes. The universe is built on balance. Without darkness, there would be no light. Without challenge, there would be no growth. So when you face struggle, remember this: you are not stuck. You are simply in motion. And just as night always turns into day, you have the power to shift into a new reality. This is the principle of polarity. The power to transform lies within you. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Everything in life moves in cycles. The tides rise and fall. The sun sets and rises again. Seasons change, moving from warmth to cold and back again. Even your breath follows this rhythm. Inhale, exhale. This is not randomness. This is the sixth Hermetic principle, the principle of rhythm. It states, everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. Rhythm is the unseen force that governs all things. It is the great cosmic dance, the pulse of the universe. And whether you realize it or not, this law is shaping your life. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever noticed how happiness and sadness come in waves? How moments of clarity are followed by confusion? How times of abundance give way to scarcity, only to return again? This is the principle of rhythm in action. Nothing stays high forever. Nothing stays low forever. Everything moves. Everything changes. But here's where the true power of this law lies. Once you understand rhythm, you can learn to work with it rather than be controlled by it. Most people fight against rhythm without realizing it. They cling to moments of joy, terrified that happiness won't last. They resist moments of struggle, believing they will never end. But the wise understand, rhythm is not your enemy. It is a force to be mastered. When you are in a high phase, ride the wave. Be grateful, be productive, create, expand. And when the wave begins to fall, don't fight it. Use that time to rest, reflect, prepare. The seasons do not resist change. Winter does not fear that spring will never return, and neither should you. Because just as the tide always returns to the shore, just as night always gives way to day, your life will rise again. So how do you use this knowledge? 1. Observe your cycles. Notice when you feel energized and when you feel drained. Recognize the patterns in your own emotions and experiences. 2. Stop resisting the lows. Instead of fearing hard times, see them as necessary phases of growth. Every setback is simply the pendulum swinging back, preparing for your next rise. 3. Stay centered. The wise do not let highs make them reckless, nor do they let lows make them hopeless. They remain steady, balanced, aware. You are not meant to be tossed around by life's waves. You are meant to learn how to surf them. This is the greatest lesson of rhythm. Nothing lasts forever. Not pain, not struggle, not even failure. Life is movement. Life is change. And if you can learn to flow with it, you will never fear the tide again. This is the principle of rhythm, a key to inner peace, a secret to mastering life itself. Everything flows, out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. Nothing in this world happens by chance. Not the choices you've made, not the obstacles you've faced, not the life you're living right now. Every moment, every outcome, every experience is the result of something that came before it. This is the seventh Hermetic principle, the principle of cause and effect. It states, every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. Nothing simply happens. Every action creates a reaction. Every thought shapes your reality. Every choice leads to a consequence. And whether you realize it or not, This law is governing your life right now. Have you ever looked at someone who seems to effortlessly succeed? They attract the right people. Opportunities seem to fall into their lap. Their life moves forward, while others remain stuck. This is not luck. This is cause and effect. They planted seeds long before you ever noticed. Their thoughts, their habits, their decisions. Each one set a cause in motion. And today, they are simply reaping the effects. Now, look at your own life. Everything you have and everything you lack is the direct result of the choices you've made. Your health, your relationships, your success. They are not accidents. They are effects of causes you once set in motion. Most people live as victims of cause and effect. They drift through life, reacting instead of creating. They blame circumstances. They blame others. But here's the truth. If you are not consciously creating your reality, you are unconsciously allowing it to be created for you. You have two choices. You can remain a passenger, moved by the effects of past causes, or you can become the cause. You can take control of your thoughts. You can take control of your habits. You can take control of your actions. And when you do, you set new causes in motion, causes that lead to abundance, to love, to power. Your future is not written in stone. It is written by you, with every thought, with every choice, with every action. The question is, are you letting life happen to you, or are you stepping forward and creating it? This is the principle of cause and effect, the law that shapes your destiny. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. There is a force within you, within everything, a duality, a balance, a dance of creation itself. It is neither male nor female, yet it is both. This is the eighth and final Hermetic principle, the principle of gender. It states, gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. But this is not about biology. This is about energy. Every aspect of reality contains both masculine and feminine forces. They exist within nature, within relationships, within the universe itself, and within you. The masculine is the force of action, logic, direction. It is the sun, bright, focused, expansive. The feminine is the force of intuition, creativity, receptivity. It is the moon, mysterious, flowing, ever-changing. One pushes forward, the other nurtures and shapes, and together, they create all things. Look around you. Electricity needs both a positive and negative charge. Nature thrives when aggression and nurturing work in harmony. The greatest minds blend logic with imagination, and the greatest lives are built by those who balance these energies within themselves. If you rely only on masculine energy, always pushing, forcing, doing, you will burn out. If you rely only on feminine energy, always flowing, feeling, waiting, you will drift. True power comes when you embrace both. When you trust your intuition, yet take action. When you plan with logic, yet allow creativity to guide you. When you become both the architect and the artist of your own life. This is the final law, the last key to mastering reality. Because once you balance these energies within yourself, you unlock the power to create anything. This is the principle of gender, the secret force behind all creation. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. You have just uncovered the hidden blueprint of existence. 7 laws, 7 ancient truths, 7 keys that unlock the greatest power you will ever know. The power to shape your reality. Because you are not just here to observe life. You are here to create it. Every thought, every choice, every vibration. You are the architect of your destiny. the sculptor of your own reality. The only question is, what will you create next? If you're ready to unlock even deeper wisdom, to take control of your fate, subscribe, step beyond the ordinary, and reclaim the ancient knowledge that has been waiting for you all along.